Hello, boys and girls. Miss Boswell here once again. I hope that you had another wonderful week of Camp Challenge on the go. I cannot believe that we have already made it to week 6. Time has flown by. As always, I want to remind you before we get started that at the end of the video there is a poll question for you to answer, and by answering in the comments you can be entered into a prize. So don't forget to do that. All right, well, I have some more fun activities for us today. Last week we did an experiment, which I thought was so much fun, so I wanted to do another science experiment for this week. So let's go ahead and get started. So now more than ever, everyone has been talking about germs and how it's so important for us to wash our hands and wear masks and just be really, really extra cautious. That way we don't get germs. So I figured that it would be a really good lesson for us to learn and talk a little bit more about germs, and then also do an experiment that relates to learning about why we use soap when we wash our hands. So, before we get started, I found this really fun story for us to listen to.
Germs, Germs, Germs by Bobby Katz, illustrated by Steve Bjorkman. We're on the ground, we're in the air, we're germs, and we live everywhere. Can you see us? Not a hope. You'll need to use a microscope. We're so small we can't be seen, but we are strong and we are mean. Knock, knock, body, let us in. We'll make you sick once we begin. Every germ thinks it's just grand to hop in a mouth on a dirty hand. A tummy ache, a cold, the flu, we can give them all to you. We're on the ground, we're in the air, we're germs, and we live everywhere. Give us some place dark and damp. What a perfect place to camp. If it's warm, we'd love to stay and multiply by night and day. Knock, knock, body, let us in. We'll make you sick once we begin. It's not always easy to spread disease. Germs have lots of enemies. Hot soapy water, what a curse. Fresh air and sunshine, even worse. Some folks we meet are very mean. Rub-dub scrubbers keep everything clean. Poor germs like us get washed away, then we don't have a chance to play. Food put-awayers, another bad bunch, they won't let us grow in your supper or lunch. Into the fridge go milk, butter, and meat. How can we get into the food that you eat? Stop it, hey you guys, leave out something for the flies. Brushes, brooms, mops, detergent. Let's leave, germs, it's getting urgent. We can't live here, but we don't care. We're germs and we go everywhere. But germs have helpers, yes we do. Hear that cough and that kerchoo. In winter, people crowd inside. That's when germs get an easy ride. Sneezers and coughers don't take care. We'll be glad to help you share. When bodies are tired and get a chill, will cold germs attack them? Yes, we will. We're on the ground, we're in the air, we're germs, and we live everywhere. Hurry-ups, help us. Rush, rush, rush. They're too busy to wash and flush. Germs like hurry-ups so much better than some careful never-forgetter. Hey, see that kid? Now watch him fall. Are we sorry? Not at all. His elbow's cut. He scraped his knee. Let's go, germs. We'll have a spree. Open skin has no protection. We can cause a fine infection. Hip, hip, hooray for lovely dirt. Sorry, kid, infections hurt. Who else helps germs, do you know? Nose picker, pencil chewer, Ho, ho, ho. Finger licker, meal skipper, yes sirree. Germs have good friends, as you see. We may have lots of enemies, but we'll do fine with friends like these. We're on the ground, we're in the air. We're germs, and we live everywhere.
All right, that was a fun little story for us to listen to that taught us a lot about germs and about the ways that we can kind of prevent them or how we get them as well. So, we're actually going to talk a little bit more about that now. So, let's first start off talking about what are germs. Germs are tiny organisms or living things that can cause us to get sick. Germs are so small and sneaky that they creep into our bodies without being noticed. In fact, germs are so tiny that you need to use a microscope to see them. So if you sneeze or cough, or if you don't wash your hands after maybe using the bathroom or something, you can't actually see the germs on your hands, but I promise you they are there. So, what do germs do? Well, once germs invade our bodies, meaning when they get inside, they gobble up nutrients and energy, which is why when we get sick, we don't feel good. That's why we feel so extra sleepy and sluggish, and we just don't feel like doing anything. Germs also can provide toxins or produce toxins, which are proteins that act like poisons. Those toxins can cause symptoms of common infections like fevers, sniffles, rashes, coughing, and more. So, how do germs spread? Well, they kind of touched on this a lot in the book, actually, but most germs are spread through the air in sneezes, coughs, or even breaths. Some pass from person to person by touching something that is contaminated, like shaking hands with someone who has a cold and then touching your nose. So I found a picture here that kind of shows that. Like if you are near someone who is sick and you're touching them, you can get germs that way. But also just by sneezing or coughing in the air, not covering your mouth, then you put those germs into the air and the people around you can also get those germs. Okay, so how can you protect yourself? Well, as I'm sure you all know, it is so important for you to wash your hands. Germs don't like soap and water, so to protect yourself from germs, you should wash your hands well and often. They also talked about that in the book too, how it says that germs have many enemies, and soap and warm water are two of them. Okay, so when do you wash your hands? Every time you sneeze or cough, before you eat or prepare food, after you use the bathroom, after touching or playing with animals or pets, after you play outside, or after you visit a sick friend or family member. Okay, so how do you wash your hands? When you wash your hands, you need to use soap and warm water. You should wash them for about 20 seconds, which is about how long it takes to sing happy birthday. So just like in this picture here, this person covered their entire hands and even their wrists up a little bit on their arm with soap. So you want to make sure that the soap gets all over your hands. You want to make sure that you're using warm water, and then, like I said, you want to wash them, scrub really well for about 20 seconds. Okay, so now we're going to do a little experiment which will show you, or not show you, but like it will show a representation of why we should use soap to get rid of the germs. So this is what you're going to need. A bowl with water, you're going to need pepper, and you're going to need soap. So if you need to take a second, pause the video, go ahead and get these things. You're going to want to fill your bowl with about like halfway with water. Not all the way to the top, just like halfway is good. You just need a little bit. And then go ahead and get the pepper and soap, and you might even actually want to get a paper towel too, because we are going to be sticking our hands in here. So you're going to want to also get a paper towel to wipe your hands off. So, okay, so let's go ahead and do this experiment. So I have my bowl right here. I'm going to go ahead and put my video down some, that way you guys can see it. I know that you can't see my water right now because of the light, but you should be able to see it once I put the pepper in. So we have our bowl with a little bit of water. All right, so now I'm going to take my pepper and I'm going to sprinkle it in the water. You're going to want to sprinkle quite a bit. Okay, so the pepper represents my germs, okay, or just germs in general. So if you take your finger, stick it in here, we're going to stick our finger into the germs. Oh, gross. Look at all of those germs that just got on my finger. Ew, we don't want that, right? We don't want all of these germs. So you get germs on yourself when you, like I said, touch someone who has been sick after playing outside, after using the bathroom. Maybe if you sneeze in your hands, your germs will get all over your hands or in the air. Or like I said, if you touch things that maybe someone else touched that were contaminated. So maybe you touched a doorknob and someone before you was sick and they touched it. That's how you get germs on yourself. And then when you have germs on your hands and if you put your hands in your mouth or your nose or your eyes, that's how the germs get inside of your body. So we want to try to avoid getting germs inside our body or allowing the germs to come inside our body. So after you go to the bathroom, after you play outside, after you play with your pets, you might have germs on your hands. It happens, it's okay. Just make sure that you wash your hands afterwards, okay? And this is why we use soap when we wash our hands. So I have my plate. Didn't want my hair to get in the water. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna put a little bit of soap on my plate. Okay, just like regular dish soap or any soap. All right, so remember the first time I stuck my finger in there, I got germs all over my finger. Well, this time, I'm going to get lots of soap on my finger, okay? And now I'm gonna stick this finger again back into the pepper. Let's see what happens. Whoa, did you guys see that? Oh my gosh. Super cool, huh? So the soap actually made the pepper go away. Or like I said, if our pepper is representing the germs, the soap made our germs go away. So that's why it's so important to wash your hands. The soap is going to take the germs away. That way, when you do end up if you end up putting your hands by your face, by your mouth, whatever, then hopefully we can try to avoid those germs getting inside of our bodies, right? So that was just a really fun experiment just to show you all a little representation of why it's important for us to use soap when we wash our hands. Because the soap helps us get rid of the germs. And we don't want germs inside of our bodies because we don't want to be sick. No one likes to be sick, right? Okay, so that was our experiment. We just learned a good little bit about germs. So now I want to see if you are paying really, really close attention. Your poll question is, about how many seconds do you need to wash your hands for? That's your question. Comment down below to be entered into a prize. And yeah, well, I think that this is it, week 6. So I hope that you have had so much fun doing our science crafts and experiments over the last couple weeks. I hope that you've learned something new each time. And I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your summer. Don't forget, wash your hands, stay safe, have fun, and yeah, I will see you guys next time.